Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Happening right now, Vice President Mike Pence officially in the Valley.
The VP just landed at Sky Harbor Airport moments ago. Let's take a live look out there if we can. Governor Doug Ducey was on hand to greet the Vice President. So, so we got the motorcade right there as he walks off his plane. Pence is now off to the Phoenix Marriott Resort at Tempe at the Buttes, where he'll attend a tax cuts event calling Put America First, to look at how a new tax law signed by President Trump will affect Arizona. So I don't know if he's off the plane yet. Sure doesn't look like it, does it? Maybe he's over greeting the crowd. I'm not quite sure. But not the big seven, or maybe he's right there. Is he in the, he's actually, oh, maybe he's standing outside the
on the other side of the vehicle.
Some of the dignitaries.
Yeah, probably. And you can see this live image here coming from our photojournalist, and we're hoping to maybe get a shot of the Vice President as he makes his way around this vehicle. But yeah, Troy, it looks like he's chatting with some folks on the other end, potentially. And
the last time that he was in town, we actually got to be embedded with him. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do remember. You were on that trip, right?
Yeah, it was good. And so in the back of these two front vehicles that they have, the official vehicles, there were a series of about 6 or 7 minivans that had support staff, members of the media. And I tell you what, it's one thing when you drive behind a motorcade, you really get to move around. You know, they stop all the stoplights. And there's nobody else on the freeway.
That's right.
It's really the way it drives. So we'll have more on this throughout the rest of the newscast.
All right, other headlines for you, new at noon. We are following a developing story near 19th Avenue and Bell Road, and that's where a carjacking suspect was arrested after crashing a truck into a bus stop and then injuring a teen. Ty Brennan joins us now with the very latest on this story. Ty, what can you share with us?
Yeah, Celeste, this is a pretty wild scene out here at 19th Avenue and Bell Road. It extends all the way from 19th Ave here all the way down to 20th right here in the westbound lanes. Now take a look. I want to show you this because we're told that this all started with a burglary suspect. According to Phoenix police, he stole a white truck and then he plowed into this bus stop right outside of this IHOP restaurant. We're told that there was a 17-year-old boy that was waiting for the bus. He has serious injuries and he was taken to the hospital. That suspect then continued to travel down the white truck at the end. Now, he sustained some major damage when he hit that. We're going to listen to some information from one of the suspects here.
As soon as he hit that, I mean, no lie, no more than 10 seconds later, there must have been about 4 or 5 police cars just flew right by. A couple of them stopped over here to see if anybody was injured. The rest of them just chased him down there, and I guess because of the damage, he couldn't go any further.
Again, that suspect has been arrested. We're working right now to get some more information from Phoenix Police Department as far as the charges that this burglary suspect could be facing. But again, that suspect behind bars, the individual, that 17-year-old that was waiting for the bus, he was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We'll send it back into you guys.
All right, Ty, thank you. The Tinder wildfire continues to burn in northern Arizona. At last check, it had grown to more than 11,000 acres and 0% containment.
The fire prompting a state of emergency in the area. Hundreds of firefighters continuing to battle those massive flames. We got confirmation today that homes were lost. We saw those homes from video from Sky Fox. So Marcy Jones now has the latest from Clint's Well.
Troy, we just spoke to a man who told us that he was devastated just 2 days ago when he was told that his house was completely destroyed. He said he couldn't sleep for these last 2 nights. And then miraculously, one of his friends actually snuck up to the area that was already evacuated, saw that his home was still standing, even though everything around it was burned to the ground. And he just got that news, and it was amazing to witness him. He said the sense of relief was just overwhelming. Now, as far as the numbers go right now, Governor Doug Ducey declaring a state of emergency here in Coconino County yesterday to the response of this blaze. Sunday's evacuations for communities northeast and west of Highway 87 put into place and will remain there until further notice. More than 500 personnel, including 7 hotshot crews, are currently fighting this blaze. And at this time, there's zero containment. And a lot of people have had questions about that number because it's a scary number. They're saying so there's absolutely no containment. And the fire authority authorities' answer to that is because they're really focusing on protecting and saving any of the structures that they can in the way. And of course, safety is the first priority. Now, as far as the firefighters go, I asked, how are they doing? This is a tough situation. Things are constantly changing. He said they're in good spirits. They're taking a lot of those shift changes so that they don't get too tired out from trying to battle this blaze. But he said what really helped them was that community meeting last night where residents really just came out, showed their support and love, and said, thank you so much for fighting for our homes. We love and appreciate you. And that really raised their spirits. So that's a good little note to leave off on. For now, that's the latest information. Back to you.
Marcy, thank you. The wildfire leaving plenty of devastation behind, as you can see here from these Skyfox images flying over the scene of a neighborhood. You can see the multiple structures destroyed or damaged by the blaze. Sadly, when you look at some of these images, you are just heartbroken. Weather playing a big factor with the Tinder wildfire, of course, and Corey is following the forecast up in the high country as well as here down in the valley as well. Corey?
Boy, the wind is really what is causing all of the havoc, and there is so much of it. It's so strong. We've got this cold air mass continuing to be dragged in across Arizona, and as it does, it's sort of swinging in and then across the state from the southwest, and it is really causing problems. As you saw, the extent of this fire now at more than 11,000 acres. These winds have pushed another 2,500 acres into the fire zone just since last night. So it's really a terrible situation. Winds today are likely to continue to gust into the 35 plus range. Here is where that fire is located, by the way. The temperature is on the downside, so that does allow firefighters to really use their maximum effort. They're not being fatigued by excessive heat, but the wind is just too hard to face. Look at this. So we've got steady winds now at about 26 miles an hour, not far from Payson, down the way in Show Low. 40-mile-an-hour gusts recorded there. So this is the kind of firefight these men and women are up against today. And it looks like the wind is going to continue certainly for the rest of today. We'll check on tomorrow when we get together here again in just a few minutes. Troy?
All right, Corey, thank you for that. We'll see you in a bit. Now to the latest on that teacher walkout. Day 4 at the state capitol. Thousands of students, hundreds of thousands out of class today as teachers fight for better pay and better school funding. But there is a plan in the works. The legislature is working on it as we speak. Steve Kraft at the Capitol. The question is, Steve, will it be enough to get the teachers and the students back in class?
That is the question. Right now, for anyone who thought that maybe the teachers wouldn't be down here in the same numbers they were yesterday, if you look over here, these teachers are all here. The teachers who were here yesterday are waving flags. You can hear the Red for Ed band in the distance. The people are fired up here. They are clogging all the available public space here at the Arizona State Capitol, while inside you can see some of the video now of this entire event. Inside, the House Appropriations Committee is looking at Governor Ducey's proposal. It's a Republican Party-only proposal. Democrats and union leaders for the teachers and their supporters have been frozen out of all of the negotiations. But the plan is to get that 20% raise for teachers by 2020, and then also to have more money available by some changes in the state budgeting process for support staff and for capital improvements and to restore funding that was taken away during the Great Recession in Arizona going back for some 10 years. These teachers are telling me that's not going to cut it. That's not enough for them. Meanwhile, we talked to a Republican legislator who said the teachers should be happy to get this additional money and it's time to go back to work. Here is what Representative Bob Thorpe of Flagstaff had to tell us.
Well, that the governor has already made a commitment of 20%, and we're now getting ready to pass that budget. So I'm a little bit in the dark as far as why they're still here and not in the classroom.
Well, the reason that they're here and not in the classroom is they don't necessarily agree that the governor's plan is a good one. Nevertheless, though, as Representative Thorpe suggested, this is pretty much a done deal. The question now is what the political end game will be, getting these folks back to work and then heading towards the November elections. Reporting live from the state capitol, Steve Kraft, Fox 10 News.
Thank you, Steve. That's not the only protest at the Capitol today. Students from across the valley were wearing orange shirts to protest the governor's gun safety bill. Lawmakers are expected to vote on this bill also any moment. These students were out there today. They said they wanted universal background checks. As you can see, they're getting ready for a news conference as we speak. And they also say they want more money for mental health screenings within the high schools. So we'll stay. You want to hear it for a second? Do we have the audio?
And I'm a junior at Mountain View High School in Mesa.
All right, so tell us what the latest is.
All right. Ducey's plan was an utter and complete bait and switch bill. It was, as we quoted, 51 pages of BS, as the initial promises that he made were completely redacted in legislative form here today, being debated here in the Senate. Teachers should watch out, because the governor has taken back every promise he has made to us, and he will do the same to teachers. Legislation is far from what promises are made.
All right, so if you want to continue to watch this, this is up right now on News Now. Go to fox10phoenix.com and you continue to watch this. But the governor's getting hit with some crossfire today.
Absolutely.
So he's got some work to do
all
out there
angles.
to make people happy. Up next, President Donald Trump meets with members of the crew of the Southwest flight that had this awful incident, what he said during that meeting.
Plus, a black bear decides to go on a little stroll in one New Jersey neighborhood. This was quite the story.
Yeah, that was fun to watch today.
All morning long. More on this coming up.
Tonight at 9.
They veered into the lane and we hit them head on.
With over 1,700 wrong-way driving incidents in Arizona last year.
This is about to get very dangerous here, guys.
You'd hope your car could survive a crash. Fox 10 shows you a place where they crash cars to learn how to make your cars safer.
2, 1.
Tonight at 9.